To take a further look at this disturbing matter, I'm being joined now on the News at 10 live from our Abuja studios by a retired military officer, Major General Cecil Esekaigbe. Major General Esekaigbe, thank you for joining us on the News at 10. What do you make of the continued carnage in Benue State, especially with these new attacks targeting not farmers but worshippers this time?
Well, this is despicable, perilous, and it cause for concern. I mean, this is why we have always referred to the fact that before you can take a proper action in these kind of things, you need a correct diagnosis. Because hitherto it was tagged farmers' headmen clashes. But now one begins to wonder whether there are farmers in the church these days. So this calls for serious attention and an emergency in the security sector.
I don't think you could have put it any better when you say it calls for an emergency, because it almost seems like, you know, the attackers have upped the ante. They're now attacking worshippers in church. All of this has happened despite the deployment of soldiers in Benue State. It does appear that the attacks have intensified. How is this possible?
Yes, the issue there is that the police, which is tasked, you know, with the internal security architecture, is very clear that they're incapable because they are ill-equipped and they have gotten to the end of the road. They cannot tackle this issue. And the military, which are brought in to support them, there are so many constitutional imperatives they have to follow to be able to support this police in this insurrection. Section 217 of the Constitution, 1999, as amended, clearly spelled out the responsibility of the military, which is to deter external aggression. Although Section 217C also gave a caveat for where they can assist the military, where the military can assist civil populace or civil authority, and where the military can also assist civil power. The military has to be very, very sensitive in the way they come into these things. Without a very clear directives, you can see that the military in most cases have been unduly attacked as being, you know, biased and as being high-handed in this internal security operation. So there is need to be a legal force to the military assistance to this police in this tackling of internal security apparatus. But one thing is clear. We need to identify who these assailants are. The question of calling them herdsmen calls another question. Are they herdsmen? Herdsmen, do they carry their cattle with rifles and sophisticated weapons? And have Nigerians degenerated to this level of hatred? Do we now hate each other to this sense of this anarchy? We need to really investigate and unmask this assailant because it's perennial. It's been happening for the past few months and nothing has been done about it.
Major General, you're asking.
Vigilance.
Major General, you're asking and you're answering the same. You're asking the questions, you're also answering them. But I want to pick up something that you said, which is the military is in Benue State, if I heard you right, but what they can do about this is limited because of the Constitution you mentioned. So are you saying that the military cannot help the people of Benue, you know, against these herdsmen attacks?
The military has come in to assist. But what I'm telling you, they need to be a legal force to their actions so that at the end of the day, they did not breach the constitutional requirement of not overkilling, which some people have already alluded to them. Some people have said that the military is not trained for internal security operations. And if they are invited to take part in international security operations, they need to be a legal force. There need to be a force, a legal instrument that will ask them to do the job the police are supposed to do. Because the school of thought also say that the military are not allowed police to do their jobs. So where do we come from? If you allow the police and they're not able to do their job, you want to call it the military, there need to be a legal platform for the military to do this assistance they want to give to the police. Rather, some people are saying that they are doing the job of the police. So the military is doing their best within the limitation of constitutional imperative.
Unfortunately, while we're awaiting that legal force that you're talking about, people are dying in Benue State. They're being killed. We just heard about 19 people who died in Benue State in a church. So whose responsibility is it to provide security for people in Benue? If you're saying the police is not equipped enough and then the military do not have legal force, who do we look to in the meantime?
This is why some people are agitating for what they call community policing and even state police, because the policing is so centralized and they don't have the feel for the grassroots. So multi-level policing at all levels will help to stem this ugly tide. And as a matter of fact, you see that a deliberate equipping of the police, a deliberate funding of the police to be able to discharge their responsibility is also key. So the police is charged constitutionally to maintain internal security. If they are not able to do it, that is where the state of emergency should come, where our laws will be revised, where the military will be given a legal force to do what they have to do to stem this tide. But first and foremost, like I said, the important thing is intelligence. Who are these killers? Are they herdsmen? If they are not herdsmen, are they Nigerians that have hated themselves so much? If they are not Nigerians, where are they coming from? And where are they getting the source of, where is the source of these weapons that they are using? So these are the key issues when you're analyzing how to take care of this issue. It is not a knee-jerk solution. It's not a reactive thing that when it happens, we all come in to say, oh, what do we do? There are deliberate issues that must be taken into consideration. Amarachi.
Well, I'm hoping that all of these questions will be answered in the nick of time. But in the meantime, let's hope that help gets to people in Benue State. Thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10, Major General Cecil Esekaigbe.